Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a seriously fascinating chapter all about the science of the weather around us and exactly how it connects to our daily lives. I mean, weather is something we all experience literally every single day, yet we rarely stop to truly decode it, right? Well, let's jump right in. We're going to start with this brilliant thought from French novelist Marcel Proust. A change in the weather is sufficient to create the world and oneself anew. Just think about that for a second. It beautifully highlights how weather completely shapes our physical reality and our daily human experience. It dictates the whole shebang, everything from our mood to what we wear, and even how our environment looks on any given day. Here's our roadmap for today. We're covering 1. What is weather? 2. The atmosphere cake. 3. The 5 weather elements. 4. Measuring the elements. And finally, 5. Weather warnings in IMD. Section 1. What is weather? Sensing the signals around us. Think about the wild extremes we feel in different environments. Like, imagine a scorching, sandy desert right next to a freezing, snowy field. Think about putting on light, breathable clothes in the summer just so you can stay cool, versus shivering on a winter morning and instinctively reaching for those thick layers. You aren't just making fashion choices, you're responding to your body's physical signals. Your body is constantly sensing the weather and basically forcing you to adapt to these vastly different natural extremes. So the crucial point here is the formal definition. Weather is simply defined as the state of our Earth's atmosphere at a particular time and place. And actually, those last two words are key: time and place. It's highly specific to exactly where you're standing and exactly when you're standing there. But to really grasp this, we have to figure out what that atmosphere actually is in the first place. Section 2. The atmosphere cake, where weather happens. The chapter text we're exploring today makes this awesome comparison. It compares our atmosphere to a multi-layered cake, but instead of flour and sugar, this cake is made entirely of gases that surround our planet, gases that we collectively just call air. The bottom layer of that atmospheric cake, the one closest to the Earth's surface, is called the troposphere. It extends roughly 6 to 18 kilometers up from the ground. Actually, a fun little detail here, it's a bit thinner at the poles because cold air contracts, and it's thicker in the tropical zones because warmer air expands. This specific layer is absolutely crucial because it's where all land-based plants, animals, and humans live and breathe. And, more importantly for our explainer today, the troposphere is where almost all of our weather phenomena take place. Section 3. The 5 weather elements, the ingredients of our daily experience. Just like any recipe, weather has specific components. There are 5 distinct elements we use to describe our daily experience. First up is temperature, which is simply how hot or cold the atmosphere is. Second is precipitation. That covers any form of water falling from the sky, so rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Third is atmospheric pressure, and that is literally the weight of the air above us pressing down on the Earth's surface. Fourth is wind, meaning the movement of air, including both its speed and direction. And finally, humidity, which measures the exact amount of water vapor trapped in the air. But here's a fascinating problem with simply experiencing those 5 elements. Human feeling is completely subjective. The chapter presents this really great thought experiment. Let's imagine a guy named Krishnan, living in the warm coastal city of Chennai, and he's chatting with his friend Amir, who lives up in snowy Kashmir. Krishnan tells Amir it's cold after a night of rain. But how can Krishnan accurately explain cold to him? I mean, what feels chilly to Krishnan in Chennai might feel like a wonderfully warm, pleasant spring day to Amir in Kashmir. Section 4. Measuring the elements, moving from subjective feeling to objective data. Because our physical sensations are so incredibly subjective, mostly based on what we're used to, we absolutely need objective, scientific ways to measure those 5 elements. To solve that whole Krishnan and Amir debate, we just take human feeling out of the equation entirely. We use tools like thermometers. Now, while some older thermometers use colored liquid that expands when heated, today we increasingly rely on digital ones because they're just far more precise. They don't just give us the ambient temperature of our immediate surroundings. They precisely record the maximum and minimum temperatures of the whole day. By gathering all this objective data, we can use statistics, the technique of analyzing information, to detect long-term patterns, truly understand weather events, and make accurate predictions for the future. Section 5. Weather warnings and IMD, keeping the nation safe. Zooming out from our local digital thermometers and statistical charts, let's look at how all this data is used on a massive national scale to actually protect us. Enter the India Meteorological Department, or the IMD. They're the government body responsible for taking all that objective data we just talked about and monitoring the entire country. They look at temperature, precipitation, pressure, wind, and humidity on a macro level to predict extreme events. We're talking droughts, floods, heat waves, and cyclones before they even happen. To communicate all that data to the public, especially since climate change is undeniably making extreme weather events way more frequent, the IMD uses this crucial 4-tier color-coded warning system. If a region has no warning, well, no action is needed. A yellow watch means you need to be updated on changing conditions. An orange alert escalates things. You need to actively be prepared. And a red warning is the absolute highest level, meaning you must take immediate action to protect yourself. By understanding this structured system, we can literally decode the IMD's daily maps and stay safe. To wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with a really practical thought. Based on everything we've learned today, from the layers of the troposphere all the way down to the objective data measured by the IMD, what are the current weather warnings in your own region right now? I highly encourage you to check the map today, look out for those yellow, orange, or red zones, and see exactly how the science of weather is impacting your world at this very moment. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay curious.